Greetings, webheads, and welcome to episode 42 of Witty Banter, yet another Marvel Crisis Protocol podcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Alex.
I'm Drunk David.
I'm Sober JP.
3 for 4 ain't bad. We are here to help you get better at and help you have more fun with your Crisis Protocol. So we're working through our affiliation list, but we've got a little bit of business to take care of. First of all, we have had a new patron since last time we got together. We'd like to thank Bruce Voon for becoming a spider friend. Thank you, Bruce. Welcome to the neighborhood. We appreciate that help. And if you would like to join Bruce and help us out for as little as $1 a month, you can help us keep the lights on and as well as get some cool benefits from yourself at patreon.com/WeBantercast. As a reminder, one of the benefits that you get is we now do have a Discord. So as long as you are at least $1 a month member, you'll have access to the Discord. All you got to do once you sign up for Patreon, you'll automatically get sent up for the same email to the Discord. So we hope to see you there. Next, we're going to do a giveaway. That's another benefit for being a Patreon. It's a giveaway for fabulous prizes. This time, our fabulous prize is the Echo, Ronin, and Tigra box. And that goes to James Jackson. James will be reaching out to you. Thank you for being part of the neighborhood, and we'll be reaching out to get you your box as soon as possible. We do have a local tournament that we would like to remind you about. Alex, can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure can. The local tournament we've got going on is Brawlhalla. It's our second year doing it. It is hosted at the Gretna Legion for the VFW. Great way to raise funds for them. All tickets go back to the Legion and the VFW. Standard Challenger events. Chess clock will be in effect. All released up to that day will be legal. It is an LVO qualifier. And if you're a Patreon and you can prove it, Patrick will buy you a beer because you can buy booze there.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's still the single coolest location I've ever been in to come to an event. So if you're anywhere near the Omaha area or can get on a plane and get here, you really should come and check it out. We'd love to see you. All right, so we are.
I forgot to mention the date.
Oh, we did. Alex, why don't you go ahead and give the date and the rest of the details? Sorry about that.
You're fine. That's the only detail I needed to give was it's November 15th. So it is actually the day of Mini Stravaganza. So we'll also be taking a lunch break at that time to watch Mini Stravaganza.
Oh, that'll be cool. That'll be very cool. So the link for the Longshanks entry will be in the show notes as well as on our socials. That also has the details in terms of where to find the event. Before I go on, Alex, did I miss anything?
I am so sorry. I was sneezing. Can you repeat your question one more time, Patrick?
Just, did I miss anything?
No, you got everything. You right as you were talking, I sneezed 3 times, so I didn't hear what you said.
Well, also, all 4 of us will be there, so you could chat us up too.
Yeah, we'd love to see you guys. So if you're member of the neighborhood and you do come down to Brawlhalla, please come say hi. We'd really enjoy talking to you.
We'll have dorky jerseys on to identify ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, we will.
I'm gonna push back. I think our jerseys are pretty awesome.
I agree. He also was real quick to call him dorky, even though he has one. So I don't know where he's coming from.
I mean, there's a self-awareness here, but I mean, I think categorically jerseys are kind of fucking dorky anyway, right?
Fair, I guess.
You and I disagree on that one, but having said that, we're also presuming that dorky is a pejorative, and I don't know that I necessarily want to accept that.
That's fair. There is a desperation in wearing a jersey, though, I think. especially in relation to sports. It's just like a you want to be the player so bad that you're wearing their jersey. You're wearing the apparel of an athlete who actually plays the sport. It's just kind of weird to me. Maybe I'm an outlier here. I don't know. Moving on.
No, Travis, he'll shout out Travis. He's real bummed that he couldn't get one of our jerseys. So,
and he would admit that they were dorky.
Well, okay. So a couple things. First of all, we are going to be doing a second of jerseys. Second of all, I feel like we could be dusting off our long dormant Patreon only episodes just to have a conversation about this jersey thing, because I have thoughts, but I don't know that anybody who has signed in and logged in for an affiliation conversation really wants to hear a conversation about the minutia of jerseys. So we're going to put a pin in that. And if you're a Patreon, you might be able to get a full conversation hearing us argue about this, because who doesn't need more argument in their life? All right. So we left off with Spider Foes. That's where we will be picking up. So we're just going to kind of do the same format that we did before. So I'm going to start with the two leaders that foes have. That's Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, and Green Goblin. Drunk David, tell us about those leaders, what they're like, what you think about them, and how they work.
So I think with Green Goblin, I think his leadership is fine. Like, it lets you reroll one of your opponent's defense dice one turn. I mean, it's a decent. It's not amazing, but it does a thing. Sometimes it'll push damage.
Also, yeah, it can push damage. It is also important to note that reroll is after your opponent's defensive rerolls. It's like the very last reroll in the dice step.
Oh, I didn't know they added it to a different spot. Oh, because it's attackers, defenders. I guess unless they have like a quip or something, but
yeah, which I mean the quip doesn't affect like their defense dice. It's your attack dice that they would affect.
Yeah.
Point is, your opponent gets all of their defensive rerolls out of the way first.
Yeah, and it can also like you can combine it with Pierce and potentially push more damage. But anyways, I think Green Goblin's leadership is fine. Green Goblin as a character, I think so. At Second Wind, I played two Spider Foes players. Shout out to Soren if you're listening. That Goblin is one of those characters that he gets better on his backside, but he gets significantly squishier. So you kind of want to have an activation where you kind of want to have it so when he gets dazed, you want priority so you can activate him. Otherwise, you risk your opponent just owning him before he can even do anything. Because I mean, 3 physical with 5 health is terrible for a 4th threat. I do like his kit. His kit is good. I always seem to get bit by his trick or treat. I'll remember it, and then I'll be like, okay, I don't need to be within this thing, and then I'll go to move somebody else, and they'll be within 2 of a terrain piece, and it'll be like trick or treat. So that's actually pretty good. And then let's see, we got Doc Ock. So Doc Ock's leadership, I like Doc Ock's leadership. I think it's actually pretty good. I think Alex would have, a more informed opinion on his leadership, because I've never actually put Doc Ock in his leadership on the table. But I do like it. I like the power gain from it, and I like the effects of removing, what is it, slow, shock, incinerate?
That's right.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's really good. Having a free condition removal is especially with how many conditions are floating around in the game. Although, funny story, the 2 Spider Foes players that I ran into at Second Wind, they were not running 4th threat Doc Ock. So I don't know if that's like a trend around the Spider Post community, or I don't know if they just think he's not very good. But I mean, I think he's pretty good. What else can I say about Doc Ock? His throw is good. Like he's got good attacks. Like man, that like double wilds, like woo. Sometimes that'll get you. Like you'll be like, oh, I'm fine, and then it's like Doc Ock does 8, and you're like, what the hell?
He goes all gambit on you.
Yeah, no shit. I guess that's the only 2 leaders, right?
Yes. Alex, just I'll kind of throw it over to you real quick since you've got some experience with it. What's anything additional you want to put in on Doc Ock's leadership?
I personally think it's the better of the 2. I've played Spider-Foes often. They're one of my favorites. And I've had way more luck with Doc Ock's leadership. And I just think it's better in the sense of, one, that extra power, super good. And you don't need to take damage to get the extra power. You just need not be dazed. And then, on top of it, it really helps the Spider-Foes playstyle of being asshole bullies, essentially. And they finally have the power to go do their stuff. And that's like what I've noticed Spider-Foes have an issue with. Yeah, Green Goblin can do the same thing because you're pushing damage through, but I like the idea of just a guarantee when you get attacked, whether you take damage or not. And
Well,
then
and that also works better with characters that are like innately tougher, like something like Lizard or like A-Bomb or Rhino.
A-Bomb, Rhino. So I think Doc Ock's leadership is better for the Spider-Foes playstyle. And then the second part to his leadership, keep in mind, it's once per turn. So you have to be very, very careful because you not get your opportunity to remove the condition at the right time. I guess it's the entirety of his leadership.
Well,
The point is,
can you elaborate on that? Because like I assume there's people who don't understand that like sometimes you need to not remove the condition because you think they're going to apply it to you.
yeah, basically, like you don't want to remove the condition right away, because if you remove it right away, then if your opponent hits you again, they can just put it right back on you. So it's you got to keep in mind when those conditions can come out and when a good time to remove it. Like example, I personally think it's better to remove an incinerate after the second attack. It kind of sets you up for the first attack, but if there's only one example that can be given, and you're removed after the second attack, it doesn't leave you wide open for your opponent to just get the incinerate for the entirety of their turn until the model's dazed or until the condition's removed later. So I just like the idea of having that option when I want it instead of being forced right away or afterwards.
So, let's talk about JP. Additional thoughts on the leadership before we get into the roster?
No.
Okay, so the roster of characters, in addition to the 2 leaders, we've got Carnage, Dr. Octopus, Electro, Kingpin, Kraven the Hunter, Lizard, Mysterio, Prowler, Rhino, Sandman, Shocker, Venom, and Vulture. JP, what stands out to you with regards to the roster of characters that Spider-Foes has at their call?
Lizard, Rhino.
That didn't take very long.
No, that's the long and the short of it.
Okay.
Everybody else is just chaff.
Okay.
I guess.
Hold on. Let me interject. If you're going to like, go for it.
Go ahead.
Say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say with Webhead Wallop. Is that what it's called?
Surprise Webhead.
Surprise Webhead. There you go. That's definitely incentivizes taking more affiliated. Oh, sorry, I forgot Kraven. Kraven's actually really good in Spider-Foes specifically. I don't think he's very good splash, but I think he does something in Spider-Foes for them that's fairly unique for a character in that affiliation, and he kind of like greases the wheels for the team. So, but yeah, I'm not in love with the Spider-Foes roster. I think a lot of them are kind of like subpar, but they do have some standouts. And like Lizard, I would say Lizard and Rhino are kind of like universal standouts. Like they're guys who actually get splashed. Whereas like Craven's just kind of like action. And I like all the other guys are like questionably okay in faction. Like they'll get the job done, but I'm not excited to put them on the table. Like I'd rather splash, and it becomes like a real, what's the word I'm looking for? Conflict for me to decide whether to use affiliated or like just take better splash models. And this is full disclosure, I don't play Spider-Foes, so I'm not actually putting these guys on the table, but this is all in theory.
Alex, again, the group you
I wanted to interject about
characters. Go ahead.
So, since I played 2 Spider-Foes players at second wind,
yeah,
I want to shout out Carnage. So Carnage, man, that dude is way better than I had previously assumed. I had gotten into, like, my opponent had an activation where they played custom upgrades on Carnage, and then they played his stupid tactics card that lets you move a character and then attack. So then he did that, hit my I think he hit Tony, and then he surprise web headed, and then hit Tony again, and then he dazed him with that. So like he basically drew me in, threw 9 dice at Tony, then surprise web head, threw 9 more dice at Tony, and then dazed him, healed, walked over, and then double tapped. Who did he double tap? He double tapped my Nightcrawler, I think, and dazed him too. So he had like an activation where he just like dazed 2 of my models like before they got to activate. Like it was pretty fucking ridiculous. Like him throwing 9 dice, like he can do it. What? He can do it 1, 2, 3, 4. He can do it 5 times in an activation. So he can throw 9 dice at you 5 times in an activation. Then you don't get to explode crits, by the way, because he auto hexes you. So like, Carnage is a blender.
Wait.
So
how does he throw 9 dice 5 times?
So he gets custom upgrades, right, which gives him 2 dice, and then he gets.
So he's targeting the same person with all 5 attacks.
Well, I mean, yeah, he would lose it if he went into somebody else. Obviously, if he gets the days, but like him throwing 2, he threw 2 9 dice attacks into Tony, and he hadn't even burned an action yet, right? So like,
hold on. So 2 9 dice. So he's got 5 base plus 2 for custom, and then 2 for
his sadistic bleed.
Does this sadistic bleed not once per turn?
No, it is not once per turn.
For real?
Yeah, it's not. You just have to do it before. You have to do it before the attack happens. So like when he went to surprise webhead, he had to do it before, and then he surprised webhead. So like, yeah, it was just like freaking blender out in like nowhere. It was really, really good.
David, I hate to tell you this. It is once per turn.
Is it once per turn?
You.
Oh well. Well, I mean, I guess he only used it 2 times, I guess. Yeah, okay. Well, it is only once per turn. But it does work on the entire area though, right?
It does. If you have 7 power.
Yeah, if you have 7 power.
Or just that.
A lot of power for the
area attack. So when I was in my shortlist, I did forget that Carnage had buff, and he is better. I have actually played against him a couple times, and I do respect him on the table. So much so that I've found myself just throwing him, and that kind of neuters him.
I mean, that's what you got to do.
So I haven't actually had a problem with Carnage on the table because I respected his power level. So, yeah, I think throwing him makes him feel real bad.
Yeah,
because he's only range 3 attack. Like he can pull you in with his tactics card, but he needs power for that. So it's
and if you're denying him power, then like I think the thing with Carnage is like you want to, if you're playing him, you want to try to activate him like later in the round where you can take some damage and get some power.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to give your opponent a window to daze him, or a big window to daze him.
Yeah, because if
your
opponent goes into Carnage and doesn't daze him, and he's like full of power now, he probably just like wrecks you.
It's free power for them. I mean, the more power Carnage has, the more damage he can do, and the more damage he can do, the more chance he has to daze somebody and completely heal. So if you're not dazing Carnage, you are ignoring him, and that's what I've done in all my games against New World Carnage. Is just not throw a single attack to him and throw him, and it seems to work so far. But I will say he is better than before. I'll give him a nod.
Any additional kind of thoughts about the Spyro's roster?
They are hurting threes. They're hurting for twos because they've got none, and they've got no fives. They are so full of fours, it's not even funny. So it gets kind of difficult making a roster. Because then at that point, very similar to what JP said, sometimes you're just better off splashing. So they're in a tough spot when it comes to like threat values.
Yeah, it actually like kind of triggers me trying to make a Spider Foes list. Just looking at their threat optimizations, I just fucking hate it. Anybody who plays Spider Foes, I don't. You got special.
So at second win, both my opponents were running. They ran Mysterio, and I think their threes were Lizard, Mysterio, and I think one of them had Craven.
What if anything did you see that got splashed into those rosters beside the affiliated characters?
I saw a Zemo and a Cat, which are kind of interesting. I like Cat though. Cat, I feel like Cat would be better with Doc Ock, which they weren't playing, but like Cat's still Cat. She's very good. But it would be better if she could get more power off of taking damage and being able to remove what's slow. It's really good.
Yeah, that's definitely good for her. Okay. There are 6 tactics cards that are Spider Foes affiliated. And we kind of talked about a little about them sort of as we were discussing some of the other stuff. But Alex, you want to kind of go over what we're looking at or thought process on the tactics cards for Spider Foes?
They have 6. I thought they had 4. No, 3. I thought they had 3.
Custom upgrades, founding members, neogenetic recombinator, sinister trap, strategic retreat, and surprise webhead.
Okay, I remembered 4 of those. I did not remember neogenic recombinator, and like founding members just doesn't fucking count. Let's be honest. That card.
I think we've probably said what you think about those cards already.
Yeah, basically. Strategic retreat is super, super cool, but man, it can be very hard to pull off. I do like it though. It makes my roster every time.
It's a little weird.
Founding members, flush it down the toilet. Neogenic recombinator. It's okay. If you put it in your 10, I wouldn't look at you weird, but if you left it out, I wouldn't look at you weird either. You can't leave home without Sinister Trap, Webhead, or custom upgrades. Those are their winners.
Yeah, those are really good.
I just like strategic retreat because it's got Hydro Man on it.
Well, and shout out to the fact that you're probably going to be playing Rhino and you're probably going to be playing Robbery.
Right. Okay, so any final thoughts on the roster or on the affiliation as a whole? Any final thoughts on the affiliation as a whole before we get into? Yeah, go ahead, JP.
So I had my toughest game at second win was against Spider-Foes, my first game, because there was a point at which I was like down. I think the score was like I had like 4 points and he had like 12. So I was like really trying to figure out how to come back in this game. And I mean, like Rhino is such a good character. Like that dude in both of my games, I just like couldn't. I couldn't get. I'd get Rhino close to being dazed, and then like, yeah, he would just like stampede around and like smash things and throw size fours and do all the angry things that Rhino does. Um, and none of my opponents were running Sinister Traps, which I was a little bit surprised on, because I've always kind of thought Sinister Traps was a really good card. Like, there's like so many possible like things you can do with it, like to prevent your opponent from like mid grabbing an objective or just like annoying them if they're a scory team. I when I asked my opponents, they were like, "Well, it kind of sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't." And I mean, they're not wrong when Spider Bros does have a lot of good cards, right? Like, I mean, Prize Webhead and um
Genetic
custom upgrade.
Recombinator.
You can make the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
argument. You can make the same argument for recalibration matrix, but that doesn't stop people from running it. Although I will say, I do really, really, really get my rocks off when I throw a Spider Foe's character into their own trap. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy that too. Okay,
Maybe that's why they
other,
didn't bring it.
it's possible. Any other kind of final thoughts before we start giving a tier rank for Spider Foes? Okay, so just as a reminder, the way we define our tiers, S tier is an affiliation that whose affiliation and roster will help you and be an added factor in being able to win. A tier is something where you can win with it, but the affiliation isn't providing you with an extra boost. It's just something, it's not getting in the way. B tier is it's still good. It's still a good affiliation, but it has like a glaring weakness or flaw. C tier is affiliation where, yeah, you can win with it, but you're really kind of fighting against the affiliation to win. And then D tier is Sentinels. So David, let's start with you. Where would you put Spider Foes in the tier list?
So I think these guys are B plus. Like I think you can do some stuff with them, and like, and they do have some like Rhino and Lizard are really freaking good.
Okay. JP?
I don't have anything to add to David. I echo all of his sentiments exactly.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, I gotta echo this one too. They're super solid. I think they're a B plus. I will say
All
though,
right.
people don't knock Sandman. That dude is so fucking fun. Put him on the table, and
Oh,
you will be pleasantly surprised.
Sandman is pretty legit. Like getting my Namor kidnapped and like dazed is really obnoxious.
All right. So there's our Spider Foes. We will move on to the next affiliation, which is another of our kind of a single card, old school Hellfire Club affiliations. It's Thralls of Dracula. So this is another where you just have the one character and then you can bring anybody else you want. So, JP, let's kind of start with you. What do you think of, or how should we look at the Thralls of Dracula leadership that you get with the card?
Beta Ray Bill keeps you up at night. Luke Cage keeps you up at night. Colossus keeps you up at night. I mean,
for listeners who might not be as familiar with Dracula as others, why would apart from the obvious answer, why would they keep Dracula up at night? Although, I mean, honestly, he's sleeping during the day anyway.
They're all need to bleed, and the leadership specifically gives characters bleed.
Okay.
And for being a tactics card, I don't feel like it's very good. I guess the power of Thralls is that it unlocks like a pick any type situation.
Mhm.
But the problem is that Thralls don't have any tactics cards, so it doesn't really matter if you're affiliated unless you really, really like the leadership. which it's probably better than a random tactics card, but it's like, I don't know. There's some synergy with Dracula, I suppose, that you can like get a bunch of people bleeding and he gets like power and heals from it, but I feel like he kind of is a self-sufficient type of character anyway. Like there's breakpoints where it's like he's either dead or he's alive. Like adding extra bleed from other characters is, I don't know. Like he can already hand out bleed innately on his card. He doesn't need a leadership for it himself. I don't know. I'm just kind of in the camp where, I mean, if you want to play Dracula, just play him in a different affiliation that actually has cards. Like there's no, I don't know. Like you can get cute with some characters who have like bleed synergies, like Drax or Scourge or something, but I don't think that juice is worth the squeeze on that. Like Drax is good for sure. You get 2 rerolls and they're bleeding, but like, is that worth making a list for? I mean, I get if you want to fuck around, make the list, go for it. But like, these guys aren't going to be at top tables. And I did not answer your question at all, but I'm just kind of expressing my disdain for this affiliation.
I'm used to it at this point. It's fine.
Fair point.
My other issue
Alex?
is I don't know what
Yeah.
the affiliation is doing. Like what are you trying to do? Are you trying to fight people? Are you trying to like control people? Are you trying to like score out? Like I just don't know where
It's
a
inherently,
Thralls
I
roster
guess,
would be good.
I mean, I guess it's inherently kind of an attrition roster where you're trying to do extra damage to people as well as keeping your own models alive. So I suppose that's the answer to that question. Whether it's any good or not at it is a separate conversation. Let's talk about Dracula as a character a little bit. So what do we think of Dracula himself?
I think Dracula's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think he's good.
For
I
a
don't
5/30,
hate
he
him.
hits hard.
He does.
Yeah, he's the only 5 threat with a 7 dice builder, right?
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
that's right.
He's like,
that's
I mean,
good. And the conditions that it gives out are really good too.
there aren't even that many 6 threats with 7 dice builders. It's like the Hulk and She-Hulk and
Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean
Because
that's a like Thor got the nerf, Hulkbuster's only 6, Gladiator's only 6. I mean, tentatively 6. I mean, for a 5, like he hits like a truck. He's got a really good kit. He can move long. He can like heal himself, remove conditions. He's got a crazy good spender. He's got a bow. He's got the blade thing, but it's range 3, right?
yeah,
He
his
can
is range
heal,
3.
gain power, range 3 for everyone bleeding. I mean, the dude's kind of a maniac. Like, he's good. He's good. He's not amazing where everyone's splashing him, but I mean, watch out. If he's on the table, he'll wreck your shit.
All right. Well, since there's no tactics cards for the leadership, we could just kind of jump. Unless there's anything else anybody has that they want to say about the leadership as a whole, then we can just go ahead and jump into putting it in a tier. So, anybody have anything else that they want to talk about, either about Dracula or about Thralls as an affiliation?
Play him in Cabal.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, or play him in combo, right?
Or, yeah, combo's good too. He's pretty tricksy in combo.
And drink.
Ah, shit. David drank them all, goddammit.
All right, so let's talk tiers then. JP, what tier does Thralls go into?
What's our lowest tier? D?
Um,
D, right? There's no F tier?
There is no F
D's
tier.
are lowest. Okay.
D's
D
are
for
lowest.
D for Dracula.
D for Dracula. All right. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I gotta go D for Dracula, balls deep.
Okay. And David.
So I'm gonna go with the C minus.
Okay.
I think Dracula's good enough.
Before David, sorry to interrupt you, David. I want to say before you say anything, I actually do agree with you. I probably want to put him in the C minus, but I'm going with the meme D for Dracula, and I just want to shit on Dracula. So, but I think they are better than other stuff, and I think you can actually make a team that works better than like anything else we've put in the D. Like I think they work better than Black Order for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
You can pick your models like. But sorry, David. Go. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah. These guys are a C minus. I don't think they're like they're not like extremely terrible, but they just have. And the other problem is, right, your leader's Dracula, and like some games Dracula will be like amazing and like be counterattacking and doing all this shit, and then some games he just gets like blown off the table, and you're like, okay, well, that was great, 5 threat.
Yeah, 7 health it can go quick if it's timed well. Like he doesn't have DR.
He has no defensive tech on his own either. So
yeah, it's not like Blade. Like I think Blade's tankier than Dracula against Mystic and Physical.
Yeah, no shit.
Alrighty. Anything else before we move on, gentlemen?
No.
All right. So next on the list is Uncanny X-Men. So we have 3 leaders for the Uncanny X-Men: Cyclops, Professor X, and Storm. Alex, why don't you talk a little bit about the X-Men's leadership and kind of how they work and what the thought process is behind using them?
All right. So the order I'm going to start them in is the order that we were shown and the order you would think they would be revealed. And I also believe order in comic chronological order too. So Cyclops, his leadership is when a friendly model deals damage with an attack, you can pass a power to another friendly model within 5. But that friendly model can only get the power once per turn. Storm is once per turn. You can spend a power. A friendly model can spend a power and target another friendly model within 2. Place the first model within range 1 of the second model, and then the second part to her leadership. If you're targeting attack, if the attacker is outside of range 2, you can reroll a defense dice. And then Professor X, once per turn, when a friendly model uses an active or reactive superpower, you can give another friendly model a power. I'm pretty sure I got all of those correct.
Those all sound right to me.
Personally, Chuck, I think, is the best of the leaderships, and then Storm, and then Cyclops. If Cyclops just didn't have that stupid fucking range band on his leadership, it would be so much better.
Hold on, I got a rant about Chuck.
I was about to say it. We're all just gonna go take a break and let David go.
Should we make a new X-Men shot rule?
Oh God, I don't know that any of us will survive.
Because I was the original X-Men player, and then David, I challenged him to play X-Men, and this fucker suddenly thinks he's the X-Men player.
So, for all those who don't know, I played Chuck X-Men at Second Wind. I was saying it when I was talking to people at Second Wind, and I'll say it. I think Chuck's leadership is the best leadership in the game. It's real fucking stupid. The ability to just pass power when you want to characters that need it is really powerful. I had an activation in one of my games it wasn't my activation, it was my opponent, and they had custom upgrades to my Tony with Rhino, and were just basically stomping into Rhino or stomping into Tony, right? So Tony took he stampeded, and then he threw a size 4 into Tony, and then I reduced and I passed the power to Nightcrawler. So when I looked at my set of characters, I realized everybody had power except for Nightcrawler. So, and I had Xavier's Dream up, and I knew that I was probably going to use it to keep Tony alive because I needed him to be alive to score out to win the game. So he like stampeded me and he threw a freaking size 4 in me and he like went to attack me with the second attack and he got on the first attack he got Tony to alive on 1. And I was like, okay. And then he hit me with the second one and he did 5 damage and I didn't block any. I think it was 5. It had to be 5 reduced. No, it was 4. He did 4 damage to Tony. So I was like, all right, I'm going to reduce to 0 with Tony, and then I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 power and on the rest of my characters, and basically Tony took no damage and survived, and that won me the game. So like, and had I not had leadership, I would have never been able to give a power to Nightcrawler for him to be able to do it. Like, it's such a powerful leadership. Like, you could do so many cool fucking things with it, and like do things that your opponents don't like anticipate. Like even in one of my games, against the Webs player, we were playing samples and riots, and I double moved Nightcrawler, grabbed the middle one, bumped back, passed the power to Shadowcat, right? And then I double moved, stole his back scientific sample, and then I placed back, passed the power to Chuck to me my X-Men, him and Nightcrawler off their points. And basically he couldn't threaten anything into Shadowcat because I had like moved her back so far. And my opponent was kind of like, oh, wow, I've never seen that before. And like, when you catch your opponent with like plays like that, the things you can do are just like really, really, really silly. I really like Chuck's leadership, I guess. But to be fair, Chuck himself, that dude is a boat anchor. Like, I think I only had one game where he actually felt like a 4-threat leader, and that was because I annihilated Zemo and Steve. But like, I mean, Chuck should pick on Steve. Like, that's just like an opponent also like damned Cap at my Chuck for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. So yeah, he died really early. But outside of that, the rest of my games, like Chuck was like he didn't do a whole lot, and he doesn't synergize with his leadership very easily because he doesn't have any active superpowers. So you got to like rely on the reroll to pass power, which sometimes that's good, and sometimes he like either doesn't have power or he's not in range or something like that. But yeah, I like Chuck. It's good leadership.
Any other thoughts on the leaderships before we move into the roster? All right, so our roster of characters for X-Men, in addition to the 3 leaders, are Angel, Beast, Bishop, Cable, Colossus, Domino, Emma Frost, Gambit, Honey Badger, Iceman, Jean Grey, Logan the Wolverine, Magic, Nightcrawler, Phoenix Unleashed, Psylocke, Rogue, Shadowcat, Wolverine, and X-23. So, David, tell us about Nightcrawler.
Well, let's talk about their other characters first.
Okay.
So X-Men have a lot of good. Well, not. I guess they have a lot of. They have like a lot of solid workhorse 3s, like Beast and Shadowcat, and what's the good workhorse 3 in X-Men? X-Men 3 is really good. Domino is surprisingly good. Like sometimes you forget how good Domino is, and then she's like shooting you. She's rapid firing you with a fucking hammer, and you're like, holy shit.
Actually underrated Domino.
Yeah, Domino's pretty good. Yeah, they got all these workhorse 3s. They have some decent 4s, and then they have like maybe a couple standout 4s. So like Rogue is a solid 4. I really like her mutant absorption. It's like a super good power. I think Colossus is really good. He can be a little bit power starved at times, so like that's why Chuck's leadership helps him. But he's also good in APOC, so I mean, Colossus is pretty good. He's definitely super tanky, and his big brother is really, really annoying. Like, I've completely like controlled my opponent's attacks with like they go to attack somebody and then that they're not even like intending, like that's not even remotely close to Colossus, and then I'll just go, I'm gonna move you right here. And now all of a sudden Colossus is like in the middle of their team, like taking basically all the attacks. Which is like pretty freaking good. And his ability to not be pushed is really good. Like people forget how good that is. Like not being pushed by, I mean, he can't even be pushed by like sinister traps. Like it's really good. And Logan is really good. He's a freaking blender of a character. Like that beam will just wreck you, right? It's so good. Especially if he can get out of range and be able to or if he can get it out of range of his allies so he can reroll 2 dice on all his attacks. He just gets stupid. Who else? I think Wolverine is fine. He can get you with the double wilds. He's obviously not as good as Gambit at it, because Gambit, that dude is Christ. Sometimes I've had Gambit like just randomly go, oh, yep, I did 7 damage, and you're like, oh, how did you do that with 4 dice? Well, I rolled a bunch of crits on a bunch of wilds. And obviously we're gonna get to my favorite character, Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is, dude, is fucking good. I think I had at least 3 games second win where he picked up 2 models in 1 activation. Like his spinner is so fucking stupid. Like especially if you can like
for people who have not had the pleasure, explain exactly why Nightcrawler's spender is so stupid.
So Nightcrawler spender, it costs 1 power. It's 5 dice, and he adds a dice for every time that he's placed in the activation. And it has a trigger on it that is crit hit, and it's he may make another attack. So he can totally just, as long as he has power, he can keep basically spending power, and then he'll place every time he's attacked. So he'll exponentially increase the amount of dice that are going out each time he places and each time he attacks, assuming that he hits the trigger. Like, and it's really stupid because you can place him to set up to like daze a second character, right? Like you can like go like, I'm just going to put a bunch of attacks and keep going until I get close to dazing this character, then I'll place to where I want to be to daze another character and throw like a higher amount of dice. So it'll be like, the first few dice pools will be like, it'll be like 7 and 8 and then 9. And then once you get to 9, it's like, okay, I'm just throwing dice at you. And then when they're dazed, you just go, I'm going to place, and then I'll spend 1 and do it again. And with Chuck's leadership, you can like, one of the big things that I do is I will place like Nightcrawler close enough to get rerolls from Tony and Chuck. And so it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna say Nightcrawler only has like 4 power on him, right? So he places for 1, and then he goes to do a spender, right? You can reroll with Tony or Chuck and pass the power back to him so he can do 1 more spender, which usually is what ends up the thing that needs to happen, because usually sometimes it takes like 4 or 5 spenders to go into somebody to get a daze, and you need, you roughly need 5 power to do it. So I mean, but he is like stupid good. Like his ability to add dice on like his physical and energy and dodge rolls, like the dodge rolls has saved his ass so many times. Like they'll like my opponents will drop a size 4 into him and be like, okay, I take 3 damage. Like it doesn't like completely like one shot him or anything like that. So like he's just good. Yeah, I got nothing else. No other characters I can think of. And unless anybody else has any characters that are like standout in X-Men.
AP, any thoughts about the roster other than what David's covered?
What did David? What did he say? He said Colossus, Rogue, Nightcrawler. He talked about Chuck.
Yep, talk about
what
Chuck.
else is-
That's Logan.
I mean, I didn't talk
Logan,
about
yeah.
like Beast or anything like that. I mean, Beast is good. Like he
You
does
talked.
the thing.
Yeah, you touched on the threes. I don't know. I'm just gonna give it a pass. I don't know.
Okay, Alex, how about you?
Honestly, people give Bishop a chance. God damn it. Bishop's fun. I think he's a good character. But no, people think he's dog shit. But
Is he fun or is he a good character?
It's exactly the question I was going to ask.
He's fun and a good character.
The only good thing about him is that his character throw, right? Like
Reverse Pierce is pretty fucking dope too.
he's what 3-4-3?
I think he's. Yeah. No.
Yeah, 3-4-3.
Is it 3-4-3? Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's Reverse Pierce on everything.
Yeah, but like
that's pretty fucking good. I don't want to hear jack shit. You and your
decent.
Doctor Strange, Reverse Pierce. Fuck you. You think it's the best
Doctor
goddamn
Strange
thing on the
also has
time.
Doctor Strange also has 5 Mystic. Like
that
that's
don't
a big
mean jack
difference.
shit.
And he's got Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah,
that helps too.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Point is, you think it's next best thing since sliced bread on fucking Doctor Strange, and Bishop can do it for everything, not just Mystic.
I want to use the
Strange can do it for energy.
Oh, I'm sorry, energy too. Point is, Bishop can still do it for everything.
I want to use that escalated quickly, Jeff here.
Oh, we forgot to mention Cable. So
okay,
I like Cable. In the 2 games that I played him at Second Wind, he did pretty good. Like I had set up so that my opponent, because we were playing Hammers and Mcron or something, and my opponent double moved Zemo to the close side, and he grabbed the hammer, and then I walked up with Chuck, hit him with the advance, and then I walked him basically to Cable, where Cable placed onto the point, picked up the hammer, and double tapped Zemo and dazed him on round 1 and took his hammer. So like that kind of stuff is really good. The other thing that Cable can do is like in X-Men with their tactics cards, which we haven't talked about yet. But like with To Me My X-Men, he can move, place, pick up an extract, and then walk back and give you an efficient safe grab, which is pretty good.
I'm gonna say that I don't like any of their leaders. I don't feel good putting. Well, I haven't put Chuck on the table, but I've played against Chuck enough to know that I would not feel great putting him on the table.
He is really
outside of his leadership. Scott's leadership is just kind of dog shit anyway, and he's as a character, he's probably. I mean, Storm's only 3 threat. He's a 4, so it's an unfair comparison. But he's probably their best leader, like card stat wise, or not card stat, but just card wise. But even Scott is like, I don't know. On paper, I tried playing him in Steve 3, and on paper he just seems way better. And that's when you can flip results to get the speed of sight or whatever it's called. Like when you're not running that, it's even worse. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know. He's kind of turrety and not. He's kind of squishy. He's got hit and run, which is good. Like Storm is just stuck there being a turret, and I guess the best thing on her card is like a size 2 throw at range 3, but her play pattern's kind of stupid. You just sit there and throw bolts at range 4 and like hope to land some wild shocks randomly and like pump it up when you have power. Like it just feels kind of stupid. And she folds like a wet paper napkin.
Yeah, she's
not
terrible.
Yeah. Chuck is just, I don't know. Once someone has enough power to override Chuck's defense, like he's not long for the world.
Yeah, it gets really rough with him, especially because they can like chain that, right? Like it's like if Hulk is like reducing his his defense, he's like gaining more power off of punching him to reduce the next attack, which will
Yeah,
probably, daze him.
yeah. So I guess my thing is like I don't love the affiliation for my personal taste because I like putting strong leaders on the board. Um, or strong is kind of like ambiguous. I guess leaders that feel like they hold their weight better in terms of from a character perspective. Um,
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Because like I was saying before, Chuck, like he had one game out of 5 games where he felt actually good, and like that's not great when you have that character's your leader.
yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to X-Men Tactics cards. X-Men have 7, which I always feels like they have more, but maybe it's just because the ones that they use come out all the time. JP, what are your thoughts on the tactics cards that the X-Men bring to the table?
Um, well, they got first class is I'm not gonna say it lets X-Men do unique things, but it definitely lets them do things that are rare in the game. You could compare it to I guess I'm trying to think of like other affiliations that could actually do what X-Men can do. And that'd be like um able
Inhumans.
to like interact twice or yeah, basically interact twice or like save power for like the next turn to do something for like 2 power like off the rip. And yeah, so like David said Inhumans or like uh Asgard just by virtue of Asgardians getting 2 power across the board. Um but I mean that card just gives them a ton of tempo and it you can definitely see the effect when you combine it with a leader like Chuck because you are not only saving power picking up and interacting with objectives, but you're also able to pass power so that you can start um, turning things online faster, i.e., like round 1, because you save the power from the interact and then you get an additional power. Now you're at 2 power, you can use a superpower. And that superpower is going to give someone else a power because that's how the leadership works. So you can really start to abuse something like that, and it's kind of initiated by that tactics card in some respects. Like you could do it without the tax card, but the tax card makes it way better. So it's definitely a tempo thing, and it should be like an every game card.
Yeah,
Just because
at Second Wind I played it every game. I
yeah.
did not take it.
I mean, you can't make a good faith argument that you don't take that card every game. Like it's going to save you at least 2 power. Well, I shouldn't say 2. I guess it could save you 1 if you like lose prio and it's like a triple extract. But if it's a triple extract, it's probably not your extracts. You're playing pay to flips. So
Yeah,
now that I'm thinking
exactly.
about it,
So you're still
that doesn't hold water. So
you're
like
still making it up on the paid flips.
it's saving you at least 2 power. We'll say that. And a tax card that gives you 2 power, just like right off the rip at the start of the game, yeah, that's a good card. They got a big shot in the arm with Xavier's Dream. That card is insane. And the way they've I don't understand the way that's designed, like how it's strayed from tactics cards being affiliation only to okay, now anybody can pay for this and you can play it on anybody, not including people who are not in your affiliation, which is very atypical for their design. On top of like an already super powerful card. Not that I'm whining because X-Men are just not destroying everybody in the meta, so it's whatever. They could probably use a good card, but it is worth noting that card is fucking bonkers broken.
Yeah, it's really good.
What else? Children of the Atom is like randomly good, especially in metas where there's a lot of conditions, like Apocalypse.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy would has a call to make in about X-Men still having Children of the Atom.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, Children of the Atom also like, even if it just removes a stagger and gives you a power, like that's really fucking good.
Yep.
I do
Or
want
if
to
it,
point out, though, Children of the Atom only affects one model. Crew the Milano affected all and prevented them from getting conditions. So, apples to oranges right there.
I feel like it's just an apple to a bigger apple.
I will say
Two different apples. That's the point.
having Nightcrawler having Nightcrawler going from 3 power with root and shock to 5 power with no conditions is a big fucking difference.
Suboptimal.
Yeah,
It's
especially since
different,
how
but on its
Root-
own,
how
because
bad
like Crew
Root-
the Milano just saying you don't get conditions anymore for the entire round. It's pretty fucking good.
Sure. What are the other text cards? They're not coming to
To be
mind.
my X-Men.
Oh, to me my X-Men.
X-Men.
Another card that enables tempo, round 1 tempo or round 1 jank. A lot of that stuff is just round 1 stuff. Like you really have to be creative to use To Me My X-Men after round 1, I think. Like it's still good, but like round 1 you can engineer things with that card. I think like historically X-Men are just like the most engineered round 1 affiliation in the game, probably. They have to be. Among the player base, I should say.
Yeah, I mean it's like them and Inhumans, right? And then Steve.
Yeah, but even Steve, like back when with the storm hop and everything, like I mean, you have motherfuckers like drawing up like diagrams in chat rooms,
where you could like
tutorials on how to do crazy shit. It was just like, okay, I get it, man.
Yeah, how to steal people's like back.
You can steal my back F.
Yeah, and actually get to safety, not even just like take it.
Yeah, I mean it's a good card. It's probably not an every game card, but it's definitely very good, and it could just engineer some janky shit. Like X-Men do not need eyes on the prize in this game. Everybody else was sad when Eyes on the Prize was evicted from the game, and X-Men like silently cheered. It was like a soft buff for them.
Yeah. Well, and like with To Me My X-Men, you can also engineer like one of the common things I like to do is I'll have Domino walk to a hammer so that she can pick it up and be able to like shoot somebody on round 1, which is really good. You can also enable things like a rogue charge if you're running like X-Men, if you're running Xavier. You can enable, I mean, there's just so much stuff that you can do with that card, because you can basically use it to pull a character back if they're in danger, or you can use it to kind of give them a little bit of movement forward so that they can get on the midline and do their thing.
Yeah.
What are the other you're right about
right about what, David?
You were right about the fact that To Me My X-Men is almost always going to be a round 1 play. Like there's very low cases of like where you would use it in later rounds. It's just harder to use. Your windows become smaller.
Yeah, you have to get more creative with it, right? You have to actually be looking for it. And like if you're taking it, you have something in mind already. Like you're gonna burn it. So it's just probably for someone who's like playing X-Men competitively, it's just not gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Where you're using it later. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other X-Men Tactics cards are the ones that realistically aren't getting played. Cerebro, Headmistress, and Mindwipe.
Okay, so David probably has something to say about Cerebro. And I'm probably in agreement with him. And then the other cards are kind of trash. Like
I feel like
you have an Emitax.
I feel like Mindwipe has there's stuff that can happen with Mindwipe.
Patrick, stop masturbating.
The problem with Mindwipe is that one, it's it's obviously it's a Chuck only card, so like you have
Right.
to be playing Chuck.
Yep.
And I just don't think there's a world where you take 2 tactics cards for Chuck. Like you're gonna take Cerebro and this card. Like I don't think there's a world where you take both of them. And I just don't. The windows for Mind Wipe are weird, and if like Chuck gets dazed, he can't Mind Wipe. So like, and they have to do damage, and like on top of the fact that like they could daze your character on their second action, and then it doesn't even matter if you activate them, right? Because then that was going to be the end of their activation anyway.
Right.
It just it's not Mind Wipe's not that great of a card. I I could see you maybe making a case to like stop a Hulk activation, but like you have to damage him, and like I don't know, I just don't like it.
Biggest seems to me the biggest problem about Mind Wipe is it's competing with Savior's Dream first. X-Men.
Yeah, that's the other problem. Their cards are so tight that you're just probably not going to bring it. About Cerebro, I really like Cerebro. It's pretty good on Chuck, right? Like getting 6 dice builder at range 5, or his like 7 dice spender at range 4, or even his normal spender. I think is only range 3, so like bumping that out to range 4 is really good. Like
ignore stealth and line of sight too.
And in line of sight too, and it adds an extra dice. So like, and it adds an extra dice to their mystic defense, which applies to Chuck and his ability to roll his mystic defense if he can't pay for it, right? So like he can all of a sudden like a character that's like 7 defense dice is kind of insane when you think about it.
I think it's a very niche. I think it's a very niche card, right?
It is. But usually you're going to use it to like try to assassinate a stealth character, somebody like a Miles or something like that.
Yeah, we'll see what the new wave, the new school webs how good it is, because I'm trying to think. Their spy senses and their defensive tech, do they work on Mystic? I'm trying to remember.
So 2099's, Ultimate Spider-Man's, and Silk's, they all work on Mystic.
Okay, yeah, those 3 do. Ham and Noir do not.
Okay.
And obviously ASM still does, because his always worked on Mystic.
So depending on the new school webs, like I don't know what that looks like. If people drop Miles 1 for like a Miles 2 build, then I could see the card losing a lot of value as even like a sideboard type card. But I mean, we'll see. Because that's where I immediately think to bring it in is versus Miles 1 web teams. But I don't know. We'll see. There's just not a lot of like stealth. There's not a lot of stealth teams running around, or like stealth targets that are high priority that I can think of.
I do appreciate the ability to bump out the ranges on it, though. That is the only part in the game that lets you increase the ranges on your attacks, right?
Well, bumping out the range and ignoring stealth that's like greater than the sum of its parts, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, stealth characters are just like, ooh, I'm all stealthy. And then all of a sudden it's like, I see you, bitch. From way over here.
And I get increased dice.
Yeah. It can get good. Like some people can get got with it.
Okay, so unless there's anything else to say about X-Men, let's put them into a tier. Anybody got anything else that we want to get into about X-Men before we tear them up?
No, I'm good.
All right, then.
Play Chuck's leadership. It's really good and it's really fun.
All right, then I think this will be interesting. Alex, what tier are Uncanny X-Men?
I might be giving them a little high just as a personal bias, but I think they could be like A-. I think they could pull it off.
All right. David, what do you think?
I'm giving them an A minus too. I like their Chuck's leadership is so fucking good, and their tactics cards are really good, and they have some really good characters. Like, yeah, A minus for sure.
JP.
Okay, so I'm going to sidetrack just slightly because I got thinking about some of our early tier episodes, and we were kind of conflicted on how to rate certain certain affiliations that had multiple leaders and like a um, a very broad spectrum of power, like across all the characters in their affiliation. I'm thinking of like criminals and cabal and things like that. And I feel like I'm not like trying to call us out, but I feel like our criteria has kind of changed a little bit because now we're rating X-Men according to Chuck solely. Because if we're rating them on Cyclops or Storm's leadership type builds, they're not an A minus. I just want to point it out.
Okay.
I'm totally willing to go along with best build in affiliation. I'm totally here for it.
My opinion was based off of one, a little bit of a personal bias because I was very successful with old Storm leadership. And I just love X-Men. And two, I'm basing it off of the entirety of the roster, not just the leadership.
Well, Old
This is
Storm
an
leadership
affiliation tier list.
isn't in the game anymore though. We're judging it by current meta.
Correct.
Right?
That's why I said it's a personal bias, not like I'm not saying it's a good reason, but I also did just say that I'm basing off of the entirety of the affiliation, not just the leadership.
Okay. I mean,
I don't know if we got an answer from you, JP.
So I'll go with you guys. I'll go with Chuck. I think Chuck pushes him to like B plus. But I don't think they were up that high before.
Okay. All right. Anything else with regards to X-Men before we move on? All right. Next on the list is Wakanda. The Wakandans have 4 leaders: Black Panther, Killmonger, Usurper, King T'Challa, and M'Baku. David, you want to talk a little bit about the 4 leaderships that Wakanda has?
So I'm going to save some time here because 2 of the leaderships are pretty trash. King T's leadership is, if that leadership wasn't once per turn, it would probably be good. But the fact that it's only once per turn, it's not very good. You're probably not going to use it. And Usurper's leadership, God, I don't even know what that thing does. It's so bad. It's like you
eat flowers and shit. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't even know. It's like you get an attack dice, but if you don't use it,
you take a damage and gain a power, I think.
Yep. During the power phase, choose up to 3 allied characters. Give each chosen character an herb token. While a character with the herb token is activating, it may spend the token to add 1 die to its attack roll. At the end of the round, when removing activated tokens, remove all herb tokens from the character's character that has an herb token removed in this way suffers a damage and gains a power.
Yeah, it's not good.
Also, it's on Killmonger Usurper.
It's on Killmonger Usurper, which is the fact that both Killmonger are threat. Like, why would you ever play the other one? Because the original one is just better.
And can play Usurp the Throne.
And can play Usurp the Throne, which I assume we'll talk about.
Which weirdly Usurper can't, but we're going astray.
Well, on that point though, I think Killmonger Usurper is probably the worst Wakanda model. Hot take maybe, but I think he's the worst one.
I don't know how hot the take is.
Yeah, we can talk about that, but
yeah.
I would
put a pin in that.
It's debatable for sure.
All right, so we've eliminated King T'Challa. Basically, we've eliminated the 2 leaderships that you had to spend a lot of money to get. Yeah. So how about the other 2?
So Black Panther's leadership is, it's the same one as 4 threat Tony. It's good. It's a reroll.
It's good. It's so good they reroll.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good. Anytime you get a reroll, and it works on attack, dodge, and defense. So And it's not once per turn, so you can keep spending power to reroll a dice. Like, good.
Side note, is that the only leadership that they've basically recycled? Well, not basically, that they did recycle.
I think so.
I mean, Loki's
Yeah,
leadership is a basic recycle, but that's like a straight up plagiarism, right?
Yeah, I think Invincible Iron Man's is the only leadership that's just a straight copy of another leadership.
yeah, it's a straight
Which-
copy.
That just strikes me as weird. We're getting a little tangent. I'm getting a little tangential, but that just seems weird to me that they chose to reprint that one leadership, like just kind of randomly. Like out of all, like they could come up with any kind of mechanics for new leadership, and they're just like, fucking put Black Panther's leadership
So-
on him. Fuck it, send it.
So it's
Send it.
a really straightforward leadership, and that was in the new core box. So it may be
Yeah, but Doc Ock's leadership is not straightforward, and that was in the
No.
core box.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And
How about
Zemo's
about-
leadership, what the fuck is Zemo's
Well-
leadership? That was in the core box.
Yeah, I forgot about that. My argument is
Yeah,
invalid.
it's not good. Anyways, back to
How about
Panthers
how
leadership.
about him? Yeah, and how about
Panthers
a
leadership is fine. It's good. You'll use it. Mbaka's leadership it's interesting. I do like it. The fact that you can stop, what is it, pushes
pushes or places?
places, right?
That shit's
Yeah.
obnoxious,
Pushes
man.
Yeah,
Pushes
it can
or
be.
places.
There are games where it can be really fucking good,
And
and like
it's a coin flip, I think, because it's
No, it's
crit-
3 out of 8.
it's
Oh,
yeah,
it is.
three
It's
out
less
of
than a
eight.
coin flip. It's 3 out of 8. It says it because it's a shield, wild, or crit.
And they have to be contesting an objective, correct?
Correct.
So
Correct.
I mean, like if somebody just throws you off a point, then your leadership doesn't work.
Yeah,
So
it is
it
correct.
can be sometimes it can be a little bit like it can feel not good.
I don't I don't think you're saying this in bad faith, but it's a little disingenuous to say your leadership doesn't work because there is a second factor to this leadership.
Yeah, the second
Yes,
factor
that's
is
That's just icing on the cake.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're not wrong. I think his leadership is good. It's
what's
is it if
what's
you
the
roll a
second
wild, you can change dice to a hit, right?
Correct.
attack
Yes, that
once
is
per
that is
turn?
exactly what it is. Yep.
Correct. And if the leadership was just that, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's still like the ability to just change to basically I rolled a wild, so I get a free hit. It's really good, and it doesn't cost you power. Like it's really synergistic with characters with Pierce.
Yep. The
Um,
only thing is it's once per turn.
I think that's true compared to Black Panthers, you can't spam it. I do think it's worth noting the nuance between the two in regard to like increasing your damage output. So Black Panthers, you have to spend a power like if you compare the two on at like a surface level, it's like, oh cool, they both increase your damage output, and you kind of look at them in a similar fashion, like totally excluding like the defense and dodge reroll of Panthers if you're just comparing the attacks, the attack modification. However, Panthers, you're spending a power to reroll a die, which for the sake of argument, we'll just say it's a coin flip to get a damage out of that, and you've spent a power. So you're recouping half of a power for a power. Whereas Baku's is free. So when you roll the wild, you flip it to a hit, and then assuming that your character has a gainer or a builder and not a gainer, you've netted an entire power from the leadership rather than
well, and the other thing
half a power
is
on average.
the effect is also like changing a dice to a hit is better than re-rolling it. Basically.
True.
Yeah.
It's more damage if you're actually triggering the leadership. More damage and more power.
Right. But but Mbaku's using it only on his attack, where Black Panther's using it for attack, defense, and dodge.
Correct. But strictly from a offensive point of view, like, and it's hard to say because Panthers you can use more than once. But being able to conserve power and like actually gain power from just flipping it to a hit translates into more damage too, because especially on M'Baku, anyone who's played against that guy knows that that spender is retarded.
Yes,
Yeah, his
sir.
spender is fucking stupid.
So 4 power is like 4 power on M'Baku is crazy, and he's got a 2 power size 3 terrain throw. So like that guy stacking power is scary.
Basically a 4 power character throw for size 4 or less.
Yeah, plus just 8 dice on top of it, because why not?
Mm-hmm.
And the flurry
Okay.
trigger, it's really good.
Yep. Okay. Any other thoughts about the Wakandans' leaderships before we go into the roster? All right. So, in addition to the 4 leaders, Wakanda has Black Panther chosen at Bast, Killmonger, Okoye, Shuri, and Storm. So it's a short leadership. It's a short affiliation list outside of the leaders. JP, what stands out in terms of the Wakandans roster?
The remaining roster, or
Oh, the whole thing.
well, I mean, we already talked about the 2 leaders that stand out. So I mean, if you're playing affiliation, you're playing one of the leaders. So those 2, they only have 1 5 threat in the whole affiliation, and he's pretty freaking good. He does share a name with the leader, but having 2 good leaders means that if you want to use them, you just put M'Baku in there and problem solved. Okoye is a 2 threat, and even after her nerf, she's still really good. Even after Spirit of Wakanda nerf, she's still really good. As I don't know, like I think a lot of people are probably playing. I could be wrong, but I think a lot of people are playing Wakanda as kind of like an attrition list. So Okoye kind of occupies a weird spot in the fact that she doesn't punch hard. So, depending on how you're building, like she might be irrelevant to your list, but it's hard. It's hard to completely discount a 2 threat in affiliation for me. I think she does have a spot in your 10. She's not like an everyday or an every game piece, but
Okoye also enables you to like be able to splash like higher threat characters like Hulk.
yeah, I mean it is true. I don't know. I I don't play Wakanda, so I haven't really like keyed in a preference for what I would put on the table, but I played against enough Wakanda to know that like King T's really good, and M'Baku's really good, and like OG Killmonger thumps hard in affiliation. Like uh Wakanda Forever is just a stupid ass card. Like that it makes your it it projects so much threat. And the longer you hang on to it, the more it fucks with your opponent. So when you stack Spirit of Wakanda with a Usurp the Throne on a Killmonger activation, it like you can just own around. So there is incentive to like taking the beaters in affiliation just for your 1 round massacre with some of the punchier people. And you can fill out like 17 threat real easy with punchy people in affiliation. But yeah, I mean Hulk's totally fine. Like Hulk's Hulk. Hulk's my favorite guy. I put Hulk in every list. So I mean I would probably put him on my Wakanda list too. And
Well,
then
and
like Red
I like
Skull's
him. I like him with the with like M'Baku's or Panther's leadership, right? Like
sure. I mean
he's got like
like
a higher dice pool, so he's probably hitting the wilds, right?
yeah. No, I mean that's fair. And like Red Skull's kind of become like an honorary member of Wakanda at this point. Like I feel like most Wakanda players are playing Red Skull. Just because he punches hard and then, like he gives you that extra body, so like going more narrow doesn't feel as bad when you're trying to like score objective still. So I mean, yeah, uh, there is that tension between the splash and affiliation because Wakanda Forever, but I don't think I don't think there's as long as you're splashing the right characters, I don't think there's a wrong way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Can I talk about King T?
Please.
So King T, I really like King T. King T's a really good character. There's a lot of people in the like discords that are like having issues around being able to like play around King T because King T has Ghost Rider's superpower, the one where if you damage his allies, he he gains a power. So like
Yep.
his ability to like you can just deploy him on the midline, right? Because he's a long mover, so he can if anybody on your team takes damage on round one, he can long move, place, and throw 8 dice at you with what Pierce, and it has 2 rerolls, right? If you're within 2.
I don't. It doesn't have. It doesn't have Pierce.
Oh, it doesn't
Yeah.
have Pierce, but it's still
No.
8 dice, 8 dice energy, 2
With 2
rerolls.
rerolls.
It's 8 dice.
And
Yeah.
and then
So
also you have the leadership
Yep.
too, because you're probably not using his leadership.
Right.
You're running something else. So.
but his ability to like basically he can if you're giving him power, he can like just basically go into like one of your characters that like mid grabbed or stood on a mid secure or something and potentially even daze them. If not, pull them off the point, right? Because if he's outside of 2, he just auto pushes them, right?
His bound is 3, so 2 characters that have to take damage,
Oh yeah, okay, so 2 characters have to take damage. But
which is not
the point
unreasonable.
is, no, it's not unreasonable. And like a lot of people are, well, I guess you could play Spirit too, right? To get him another power.
Hold
But
on.
you'd have to like
We'll
enable it with somebody, right?
We'll
Yeah,
get
I don't
to
know if you can
we'll-
play
we'll
Spirit
get to
round 1 anymore.
we'll get there. So hang on to that.
I don't think there's a way to play it.
If is it 2 power?
It is 2
Yeah.
power.
I believe can't Shuri walk and hit somebody with an attack in range 5?
Yeah,
Gain
but
power?
then she's walked and like she's not within range 2 of anybody, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. Like you're only going to be able to enable that with like maybe King T getting an extra power.
I don't even know. I don't.
It's probably
I guess it
not
depends
worth
on
it, though.
who she's shooting at, like where
Right.
how they're positioned on the map. But
I mean, she does have range 5, so like she could.
yeah, I mean, if it's a midline thing, sure, but it's still, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Moving on.
All right.
Yeah, back to King T. So
Yes.
King T also he's got the bound, he's got the extra power, he's got he has a counter strike too, like a it's kind of a mediocre one though, right? Like it's like
Yeah,
Zemos.
it's just Black Widows or Zemos.
Okay, yeah. So it's not Thor 2s.
No, it's not great.
4 dice damage for each crit and wild.
Yeah, King T's really good. The only thing with King T though is he's kind of fragile for a 5 threat. Like he can definitely be got. But there's a lot of chatter of people who are complaining about like King T's reach and his ability to like get into you if he wants to.
I mean, he's a long mover.
Yep.
He's with a place.
With a place
Yep.
and a range 3 attack. Like
Yep.
It's
That's
really good.
a long.
If he wants that ass, he's taking it.
Yeah.
And he's never going to be wanting for power after the first round.
No, I mean he doesn't. Like I guess he could spend his power if he wants, but he doesn't really need to be effective. Like he's probably gonna bound just to get the extra dice, but like spending ring is good, but it's not like his builder's just good. So
right,
like he's like banking power is gonna be easy. Like anybody who has a gain of power every time someone on your team takes damage, like they're swimming in power.
Yep. Well, especially if the affiliation is going to be kind of attrition based to start with, because then you're going to have everybody up in the fight and getting punched to start with. Alex, any thoughts on the Wakandan roster?
Aside from echoing what David and JP have said, these guys have a lot of crossover when it comes to aliases, and their roster is so small to have that much crossover like that. But aside from that, I think it's a solid roster. The only it's just having all that crossover. Like,
Yeah, you've got 3 T'Challas,
Yeah,
2
the Bass
3 T'Challas,
Panther
2 N'Jakus, and Storm, who never gets played in Wakanda.
yeah, so
Bass
it's just like
Panther gets easily pushed out, right?
yeah, you'll never see 3-threat Panther in a Wakanda roster. Usurper, yeah, okay, whatever. Glad I spent $50 for that fucking model.
Hey, the terrain looks cool.
I'm sorry,
You
you're
can turn it
right.
around.
Side.
I'm upset that I spent $33 on that fucking model and then $33 on a piece of terrain I'm never gonna see.
That's truth.
I prefer to value King T at $100.
That's that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You do get 2 paperweights with King T.
Well, it depends on how much you're going to value the tactics cards that you get out of it.
What tactics cards even came with it? Like, none of them get used.
You mean that one tactics card that costs a bunch of power to give you a superpower that costs a bunch of power on a character who wants to use their power for something else? That's a cool card.
Let's go with that.
Anyway, I like their roster. It's got solid models that you're more. Well, I guess, excuse me, take it back. What, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, 5 solid models that you're gonna take in the roster every game, or every time you put the roster together. I think it's a halfway decent roster.
M'Baku is really good.
All right, so let's move on to we've kind of mentioned it there. Let's talk about the tactics cards for Wakanda. There is 9 of them. Alex, what are your thoughts in terms of the different tactics cards that Wakanda has available to them?
They have 9 fucking tactics cards. I can
Bass
only think of
Blessing,
3 that are worth taking.
Bass Blessings, Jabari Chieftain, King's Command, Kaliuna's Glory, Spirit of Wakanda, Strength and Cunning, Trial by Combat, Vibranium Shielding, and Wakanda Forever.
Well, yeah, Wakanda Forever might as well be a 3rd restricted, just like Siege of Darkness is for fucking for fucking Midnight Suns. Yeah. Jabari Chieftain's really fucking good. That card's so good. And Vibranium Shielding's super fucking solid too. The rest of them, I don't know. Like, Spirit of Wakanda put in your 10, but the rest of them,
I think Black Panther's card's really good.
Are you talking about the Wisdom of the Ancients?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I'll take that back. That one is super good too. Is that a Wakanda card though?
I think it's just a Black Panther card.
Oh, did you not
Yeah,
say
that's
that
just a Black Panther card.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, because I think
my brain's sort of fuzzing out when you're naming them all.
Well,
Jabari Chieftain is all right. I like that card.
Yeah.
It's good.
I do like that card.
It's expensive though.
It's expensive,
I mean,
but god damn, it's so good.
It costs 4.
Yeah, M'Baku got to spend 4.
It gives 3 extra dice for the whole activation, right?
I don't think it's 3. I think it's 2.
Is it 2?
It's
2?
2 dice.
It's for the whole activation.
It's for the whole activation.
Adds 2 dice to its attack rolls this activation.
And you get a medium move.
Yep.
If you recall, M'Baku also has a thing on his card where he gets to medium move for 4 power, and he gets to throw a size 4 guy and do an 8 dice attack with it. So there are
and follow up with a flurry attack potentially.
Yeah, potentially. So there are opportunity costs for burning 4 power on T'Challa, or not T'Challa, M'Baku.
But man, if that 4 power
it's good for
the
sure.
Opportunity cost to win the game with a usurp because Killmonger goes fucking ape shit, I'll take it.
Oh, I've been the victim of it. It doesn't feel good.
I also want to shout out that I think Vibranium Shielding is a better card than people give it credit for. It's just really hard to fit into a 5 for Wakanda. Like, obviously, you're not going to take it over Wakanda Forever or, like, all your cards are going to be used up by the time you probably think of Vibranium Shielding. But I do like the fact that it works on, like, any characters within the range. So like suddenly giving somebody like Hulk DR is pretty good. Or the characters that already, or characters somewhat like a Bill that can reduce to 0. So now it's like I'm basically DRing 2, which is also kind of crazy.
I will
It's just
agree with you. It's like DR's busted, right? It's like as a superpower, it's one of the best superpowers probably in the game. I mean, definitely one of the best. It's arguably the best. Like the amount of damage DR mitigates is kind of insane. I will say though that I think vibranium shielding loses some value now that the E's are gone.
yes, I agree. I think it does. And I also think it loses some value because only OG Panther play it? The
No, sure you can
King T
play it.
can't. Well, and Shuri, but King T can't play it, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I don't believe so, but I could be wrong.
Black Panther or
I
Shuri.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if King T could play it, it would probably have more value because that
That's
dude's
fair.
probably swimming in power, right?
That's
But
fair.
because
And he would really appreciate DR.
yeah, he would really appreciate DR. But unfortunately, he can't play it. So I think it's a solid card. Just want to shout out that you could use it for something.
All right, so are we ready to put a tier on Wakanda, or is there anything else that you guys want to go over? All right, David, where does Wakanda fit on the tier list?
So one of my criterias for like S tier is if you're having to build your roster around like playing this type of team. So like if you're having to build roster to face Inhumans, for example. So if you're taking tech to fight something, I think Wakanda are really close to S tier. I think they're A plus. Like when Spirit of Wakanda was a thing, I think they were S tier. I think they're still very good. And yeah, I think A plus is the way to go. But there was a time where they were like considered one of the best affiliations to be playing, and I mean they're still really good.
JP, what do you think?
You keep calling on David first, and it makes me sound like I don't have a brain to make my own decisions.
I've been trying to rotate it, but it's I may lose track of things. It's entirely possible.
But I am going to go with A plus as well.
Okay.
Because I think that pound for pound, Wakanda slaps hard, and they don't really have a weakness. Like if you're gonna point to one like a weakness, it's gonna be like, oh, OG Panther doesn't get blanks against Mystic, or M'Baku has 2 energy defense. But it's like, I don't know. Like that's kind of cherry picking a little bit. I don't think I think they can play scenario. I think they can play attrition, and they have probably the best Taxes card in the game. So, yeah.
Yeah,
A+.
I mean, look at the fact that we all said that Surprise Webhead is an amazing card, and when you compare it to Wakanda Forever, you're like, this card is fucking terrible.
Yeah. I mean, Surprise Webhead gave foes gas. Like, the only reason I gave him a B+ was because Surprise Webhead. If they didn't have Surprise Webhead, they would have been rated lower. In my rating. I don't know about you guys.
But I mean, yeah, that speaks to the fact that I do agree with you. I think Wakanda Forever is probably the best card in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely got to be close.
Like they have enough people who can slap with that card, and it has synergies that other like synergy with OG Killmonger is pretty damn good when you stack Usurp, because it gives you like a bigger potential to gain the 2 VPs, right?
And you can also like even characters like Shuri, right? Like you can use Wakanda Forever to use it to push a character into range so that they can make an attack.
Yeah, 100%.
Like so, like Panther or whoever can make an attack into somebody.
Yeah, so like if you compare it to like something like Midnight Suns, like you can kit out a Midnight Sun squad to be like really deadly with Siege, but I mean, you're looking at like probably OG Strange, Ghost Rider, Immortal Hulk, and Blade himself. But I don't think you probably see those 4 characters on the board too often together. But like if you take Wakanda, you're looking at like at least 3 dudes
Well, it's
who are
also impossible to see those 4 models on the table at the same time because it's 21 threat.
411. Let's see. Well, it was Ghost Rider, Blade, I Hulk, and who did I say?
Strange.
Strange.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. There you go. Mystery solved, boys. But yeah, I mean, like you have a lot of gas even at 17 threat to just wreck around. You just put like three of your dudes on the table, and like whoever you're activating, you're doing the thing with them. Like if it's OG Panther, you're like giving them full rerolls and an extra attack, and everyone else is getting an attack, and you're gonna make you're gonna ruin somebody's day. If it's M'Baku, you're like doing the spender and like doing just like stupid M'Baku with lots of power stuff. If you're activating King T, you're like, doing the pounce, and then it just gets crazy.
What do you think about a tier?
I gotta agree with David and JP. They're an A+. Echo. I got nothing else to add.
All right. So let's move on to our final affiliation for the episode, and that is Weapon X. So Weapon X is a little bit like Convocation in that you can have a leadership card, except you got a limitation where it can only be placed on James Logan Howlett or Laura Kinney. So, JP, how does Weapon X's leadership work, and what do we think about it?
It comes with tokens, and I can't remember the name of the token, but anytime one of your models gets dazed, you get a token on it, I think.
Are you sure you want to
Yeah.
remember, Laura? So when an allied Weapon X character is targeted by an attack, it may remove 1 memory token from this character. If it does, add 2 dice to the defense roll. Then after the attack is resolved, if no damage was suffered, the allied character may advance short towards the attacking character. Additionally, when an allied character is dazed or KO'd by an enemy effect, this character gains a memory token. This character may have a maximum of 3 memory tokens, and the character starts with 3 memory tokens.
Yeah, there were some nuances there that I did not remember. Namely the advance after not taking damage.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think like it starts loaded, right? It starts with 3 tokens. It incentivizes going wide. It's actually a pretty good leadership, all things considered. It does take a Texas card though. I do like it though. Like there were some builds of Weapon X running around that were just going super wide and killy, like playing threats that were like punched above their weight class and maximize the tokens by being wide. It never really performed that well in tournaments, but I actually ran into it at LVO, and it's kind of scary, man. When they got all that shit on the board. Like I played 20 threat, and he had like new Sabretooth, Weapon X himself. He had X-23. What is that? 10. And it's been too long. I don't even remember all the other things. But it was like he had so many potential killers on the board. It was just kind of it's intimidating for sure. I guess the problem is that like in this game, wide attrition hasn't really seen the success that tall attrition has by virtue of the priority mechanic, right? So I think ultimately it's a little hamstrung by that, but I think the biggest issue with this leadership is the fact that if your the character you assign the card to be the leader is dazed, the leadership doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah, it turns it completely off. You can't gain
That's
tokens,
super annoying.
and you can't pull tokens. It's really dumb.
Like I think that's the only leadership in the game that works like that, and I think it's fucking retarded.
It is really stupid, especially when a lot of leaderships were designed to not do that, and they design one that does. Seems weird.
Yeah.
Alex, any additional thoughts on the Weapon X leadership?
It's one of the few leaderships that can be played on a model that's not in the affiliation, and I think that's neat. Whether that's good or not, I don't know, but it's neat.
Weapon X. I think it actually does. When an allied Weapon X character is targeted by an attack, I think it does have to be an affiliated character.
No. The
No.
leadership itself.
Oh,
Yeah,
can
yeah,
you
yeah.
can play.
Gotcha.
You can play it on
Right.
original Wolverine, and he's not technically affiliated.
Yep,
Well, he's
that's
not
true.
affiliated. Not even not technically.
He's not affiliated. That's true.
Yeah, it's dumb, but
Yep.
I think it's neat.
Not even sure it was intended that way, but who knows? David, any additional thoughts?
No.
Well, I think we have missed the most important thing about the leadership in that on the card we have both Guardian and Vindicator, which means, God damn it, we're getting Alpha Flight.
Okay, we should probably start a shots for Patrick's Alpha Flight. It doesn't happen too much on stream, but like we definitely need to start an Alpha Flight rule.
I feel like you're a lot safer about Alpha Flight references.
He's gonna cream himself when Sasquatch gets revealed.
Are we?
Dude,
Should
come
we
on.
limit it to just Alpha Flight, or should we just limit it to all obscure characters that Patrick wants?
You know he's creaming his pants for Stiltman.
I did make a Hydro Man reference in this very episode, so y'all got me. The Weapon X roster is Deadpool, Domino, Honey Badger, Logan the Wolverine, Maverick, Sabretooth, Apex Predator, Weapon X, and X-23. Alex, what do we think of their roster?
It's such a fucking cool list and like roster. Regeneration has always been like one of my favorite superpowers in comic history, and like everybody except I think Domino has healing factor in this roster. So it's such a fucking cool looking roster.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest though. It like you're killing or you're killing. That's all you're doing with this roster. And if you're not killing, you're gonna kill anyway. So you're just killing.
Yeah, when you have that many people with knives for hands, I mean that's pretty much gonna be your role. David, any additional thoughts on the Weapon X roster?
Man, they have like so many characters that just like punch well above their weight, right? Like you've got Weapon X, X-23, I mean, even kind of Honey Badger, she kind of punches above her threat. Logan, like you've got all these characters that are just like, I mean, yeah, they're lawnmowers, right? It just run through you.
It's an interesting.
They got a lot of
choice.
healing factors. I think one of the big things was the nerf to or the removal of exceptional healing kind of hurt them, I think.
Yeah, big time.
100%.
But their characters, like, I mean, I think this roster will be really fun. Like their characters look really fun and they look cool.
JP, any additional thoughts on the roster?
Nope.
All right, then.
It is noteworthy that they can go 7 wide.
Right.
Not every affiliation can do that, but having a 2 threat and so many 3 threats, they can go 7 wide at 19 or 20.
Are they the only affiliation that doesn't have an affiliated 5 threat?
Spider-Foes doesn't. I know that for a fact because they have all fucking 4s.
That's right.
Right.
They are all 4s.
Either.
Yeah,
Winter
right.
Guard, they don't have a 5 either.
Yep, you're right. So, all right. So, we have 4 tactics cards in addition to the leadership card. Call the Pack, Dossier, Implanted Memories, and Weapon Stash. David, what do we think about their affiliated tactics cards?
So weapon stash, that's that Maverick card where he can put something on an objective. Does it give
Yep.
him?
Maverick may spend 3 to play the card, choose a secure objective within 3 of Maverick, place a stash token within 1 of it. While within 1 of the stash token, allied characters gain cover from enemy attacks. Allied characters gain the following interact ability. Interact, remove the token from the battlefield. The character adds 2 dice to its next attack disactivation.
This card's okay. I mean, getting cover is good, especially if it's auto cover.
And it just applies for allied characters. So enemy characters couldn't ever take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of get silly, like if you decided to take somebody like a Hulk and just make it so the Hulk is always in cover, which is kind of annoying.
That would be problematic.
It's decent, but you have to take Maverick. Not that I think Maverick's a bad character. I think he's a solid character. He might have. I want to say his rapid fire is best. No, I guess Hood's is probably better. Hood's rapid fire is probably better than his.
Why?
Because Hood is Mystic, right?
You think it's better than energy?
Well,
I still
I
feel like
guess-
energy is the best attack type.
yeah,
I would
you're probably
agree.
right.
Energy definitely is the best.
So I think his is definitely got to be one of the best rapid fires in the game. So
Punisher's
Maverick's a
only 4
solid
dice.
character.
Punisher's only 4 dice, but it's automatic.
Yeah, but it's physical. So like
That's true. That's true.
So I think the card is good if you play Maverick. That begs the question of if you play Maverick or not, which
Right,
I think
right.
you could. I think Maverick is a solid character. Then what else
Maverick's,
we got?
Maverick's pretty solid. I feel like he's pretty solid regardless, but I think he really shines. And this is just speculation because I've never put these guys on the table, but I feel like he would shine a lot more in a matchup where your opponent brings primarily physical attackers.
Yeah. His little fallback thing is pretty good.
Insane.
Yeah, and it's just from a physical attack. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is a little. Well, and he is the only character in the game that can stop healing, right? Like on his card.
Yeah, it's weird though. Because like the things you would want to stop, or some of the things you'd want to stop, it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it is a little weird. Like it doesn't stop
Right.
patch up, right? Because the character
stop-
has to be healing itself.
Correct.
Yeah, and
Well,
it doesn't stop Immortal Hulk either.
That's the one that's I remember when Maverick first came out. That was
So like
the
how much
process.
how much healing is there in the game besides like one of the good restricted cards and Immortal Hulk? Like
Would
that
it,
you would.
I mean, I guess there's
not
like APOC.
would it?
APOC
Yeah, I was just
maybe?
about to say it would stop Apocalypse's stuff.
Yeah, I suppose.
You've got Wong and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, all that nonsense.
Sure.
And I mean, they're pretty popular characters now.
Well, it doesn't. What's the wording on it?
When an enemy character within
It doesn't
3 would,
stop Strange from healing other characters.
That's where
Yeah,
I'm kind
Wong.
of going with it, but I wanted to hear
What-
Patrick read it
what-
before I said something about it.
when an enemy character within 3 would remove damage from itself, this character may use the superpower. The enemy character does not remove any damage.
Yeah. So I guess it's like randomly cool, but it's not like it's never gonna be like you've activated my trap card kind of a superpower that everyone kind of was looking at it to be when he was first revealed. It's just
Right.
kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, there's like an incidental like healing factor character that doesn't get to heal or something like that. It's not like
Would it stop Xavier's dream?
No, because Xavier's dream is preventing damage, not healing.
Okay.
and
Right.
also, well, I don't know the way the card is worded, but I don't know. Even if it did say it was healing, I don't know if it would be healing itself because the other characters are paying for the power for the card. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the
the
other
only-
characters are playing the card.
The only characters that are stopping all forms of like preventing damage or healing, I believe, is just Elsa's leadership, right?
Well, Namor stops preventing. He
Yeah.
prevents
Yep.
damage reduction.
Well, he prevents damage reduction, but he allows people to heal.
I think-
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Elsa's the only one I can think of.
The spender, you're saying?
No, her
Yeah,
leadership.
No, her spender makes it
You
so they
know,
can't heal. Her leadership makes it so that they can't prevent.
Oh shit, you're right. You're right.
But you are correct. I had forgotten about Elsa.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Her degeneration.
Yeah. But even that, it's like, I don't know. I guess it could be like randomly really good, but it's just there's not enough healing effects in the game to make it consistently good. And even then, when you run into healing effects, they can get around these things anyway. So I don't know. Anyway, we've talked way too long about Maverick. Let's move on.
Okay.
Do we wanna-
So what's their other tactics cards? So they
Call the
got.
pack, dossier, and implanted memories.
So I think dossier is really cool. It's got like there's some cool things you can do with it. It's just solely dependent on like who your opponent puts the dossier on.
Yeah,
Because
it's kind
like
of a
they could
whole.
put it on a character that you're like that you really can't do much about, or it takes a lot of effort to get to, or even to like attack. Like if they put it on a Hulk, right? It's like they're incentivized to attack your Hulk, but like you kind of want that anyway.
I don't know if you want. So coming from someone who's played against the list, I don't know if I want people going into my Hulk with their whole Weapon X team because Hulk is not long for this world. Those guys punch hard, and when you've got
Yeah, they do.
like X-23 with a dossier boost, like it's just gonna get brutal for Hulk. He's gonna have one good activation, right? Huh?
It gets rerolls, right?
Patrick, can you read it? I don't remember exactly what it is.
So during the first power phase, Logan, the Wolverine, Sabretooth, Apex Predator, X-23 can play it. Your opponent chooses one of the characters is now holding the dossier and asset and objective token. If an allied Weapon X character is holding the token, so as if you get the token off of that character, the Weapon X character's movement speed becomes long. It adds 2 dice to its attack rolls, and if you pick the token up, you also get this superpower. When attacking the character holding the dossier token, this character may modify or reroll skulls and may reroll any number of attack dice. At the start of the character's activation, if there's an enemy character holding the dossier within 2 of this character's first action must be an attack action targeting that character if able. So that superpower goes to whoever got the dossier placed on them.
So it gives them arch nemesis, right?
Basically. And then once a Weapon X character gets the token, then they become a long mover and add 2 dice to their attack rolls. So yeah, that makes X-23 kind of stupid.
Yeah, I mean it makes a ton of their characters really dumb if they can get it. But like I was saying, you could also put it on like if you put it on Black Cat, right? Like then the dossier doesn't even do anything to her.
Mm-hmm.
So like
I'm in agreement with you, David, but like we could cherry pick a few characters, but in like 98% of games, like you're going to be holding your breath when they're walking up their person to your dossier holding person.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Like 5 dice with Pierce. Well, I'm assuming most people go X-23 for the leader, so we'll just assume her. 5 dice, Pierce, innate reroll, full reroll, including skulls. Like that's Zemo that just gets the Master Swordsman all the time.
With like webs or shield leadership, right? Because modified skulls too.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So it is giving your opponent kind of agency over what you're going to do with it, though.
Yeah, I mean that's why.
What do you mean, Patrick?
In other words, your opponent gets to kind of choose, if who is going to be the target for that. Whether it's you go for the Hulk or you put it on Wong back in the corner and you make you make a character go off onto Mars to go get the thing.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Can you read the card one more time?
Sure.
I want to know about a timing.
So first power phase gets played. Opponent chooses the character, gets the objective token.
Opponent chooses. Okay. So this is where this card loses a lot of value in my eyes.
Okay.
Depending on the map. So if they set the leader up on a flank,
Mhm.
you just pick somebody on the other side,
Right.
right? So
Because it's you pick it, everything gets picked after deployment.
yeah, so that's kind of my only issue with it. The the token, the superpower, and like holding the token, that shit gets insane though. Like if you can start, if you can make
Well,
that
now I have
character.
another
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
timing thing.
Yeah.
When do you decide to choose who's gonna be the leader? Can you play dossier before you put a leadership on one of your characters?
Well, it's
No,
during
because
the
I think
first. It's during the
power
first
phase, right?
power phase. So don't you have
Oh,
to
okay.
choose
So you can't
leadership
do that. Yeah, you have to choose leadership. Okay.
after before the first? Yeah.
So you can't put like Weapon X on one side, X 23 on the other side, and then just decide
Right.
which
So
character
that
to have
actually
it.
came up in my game at LVO when I played against the Weapon X character or Weapon X player. He had actually put X-23 on a flank, and we were playing senators or not
Mhm.
senators, scoundrels.
Okay.
And so I had just put it on Blob on the other's flank, and it just kind of neutered that card for most of the game.
Right.
What else do they got? What's the other one where you
The other
get to
one is
call the pack?
Call the pack. When an allied Weapon X character removes damage from itself, it may spend 2 to play the card. The character that played the card advances short, then all allied characters within 3 of it may advance short towards the character that played the card.
I hate that card. I think it sucks. It's like Xavier's Dream that you don't get to use on round 1. You don't get to engineer anything. You're always looking for an opportunity to use it. It could be good, but it could be dog shit. It's probably going to be dog shit. To even
Yeah.
identify good times to use it, you would have to like be running it a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
The fact that your leadership takes a tactics card already,
Yeah.
and then you're probably taking both restricted. And I think you could. What's the new exceptional healing? I always forget the stupid name, and I'm not even going to try to think of it.
Instant recovery.
Yes, thank you. He thought of that instantly, guys.
It's impressive.
Like I don't think it's an amazing card, but like I still think it's valuable. Like I've been running it in Kingpin. Well, first because Kingpin has shitty text cards, but also I kind of main Lizard in this list, and Lizard with that card is crazy. But
Well,
like I think
so is
I think it's still.
so is a character like Weapon X himself, right? Like because since he has healing factor 3, it's like holy crap, he could end up healing like all of his damage off, right?
Yeah, and I think in a list that runs a ton of healing factor, like you're gonna have tons of windows to use that card to very good effect. Right? Sometimes it's weird because you'll take it and you'll only have one healing factor character on your team, and they might just, I don't know, something might happen, and you just don't ever have a window to use the card. Like they get gibbed by whatever,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh well, okay, well that card's useless. You're gonna be able to use that card in there. You'll probably be able to be very selective. Like, oh, I could use it here, but I'm actually gonna save it, and it's I think it's a valuable card in there.
All right. So, anything more about the tactics cards before we tier up Weapon X? All right, JP. What tier list should we put Weapon X at?
Damn, I finally got called first, but it was on Weapon X.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go C plus.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go C plus as well. I think they'd be neat. Like I wanted to play them when there was a chance I was gonna be ringer for Bug Eater What If. So that way I could put all 3 Logans on the table and have the one Wolverine that can't be affiliated leader be the leader. But I think they'd be fun. If you win, holy shit, you got some magic dice.
That's like some super spankalicious Rube Goldberg David Spank Tank stuff right there. God damn.
David, where does Weapon X belong on the tier list?
So I got to give these guys a C minus.
Okay.
I think simply because the fact that when their leader gets dazed, the card doesn't work. Like their
Right.
leader doesn't work. It's well, and the problem is too, right? Like if you put it on like X-23 or if you put it on Weapon X, right? Like they're not like X-23 is, I mean, she's not considered tanky, right? She just has a defensive reroll and she's threes. And like the same, and like Weapon X, he like loses the defense dice, so he's not really tanky either. So like there are going to be situations, especially because you're going wide, right? Where they daze your leader and on their first activation, and now you don't have the leadership for an entire round. Which, I mean, that's kind of bad.
I would agree. The way I've seen it played, typically Weapon X, or X-23 is the leader, and she's played kind of cagey, and they kind of push all their other models into you and force you to interact with them. And they definitely take sacrifice.
Yeah, definitely.
To prevent situations like that, at least for a round. And the instant recovery is also good to like preserve your Weapon X or your X-23. I'm not saying it's like a foolproof plan, but there are like, well, there's a style of play and certain text cards you can play to kind of mitigate that a little bit.
All right.
But, I mean, it is still not a good thing. It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be like that. No.
They should have fixed the wording on it for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
All right. Any final thoughts about Weapon X before we call it an episode?
Nope.
All right.
They seem kind of fun to play. I'm like looking at, I won Maverick and Weapon X from Second Wind, and so I have Weapon X assembled, and I'm kind of looking like, could I play these guys? Maybe.
They are fun to play. I played Weapon X when they first came out, and I really got a kick out of them.
Weapon X is a blender.
Yeah, I think they're cool. Yeah, I think they're cool.
That guy hits like a truck.
Yeah, Weapon X is scary.
You dumb.
All right, webheads. Well, tell us what you think about the rosters and the affiliations that we talked about. Do you agree with how we tiered them up? Do you agree with how we talked about how to use them? Do you have some ideas that we didn't cover? We'd love to hear about it. So let us know. You can email us at wittybantercast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on the socials. We're at Witty Bantercast everywhere. Or you can join the Patreon at patreon.com/wittybantercast just for $1 a month. You can get involved with the neighborhood. You can hop in the Discord and we can talk about these. And you get signed up for the giveaways, which we're going to try to be doing more often. Thanks for joining us, webheads. And until next time, be good.